Okay, in this video, I'm going to do an oil change on my 2001 4.3 Mercruiser. It calls for 4 quarts of oil of a 25 weight 40, and my 3.0, it was a 10. Depending on, I guess, the temperature of where you're running your boat and the temperature of the water, I guess that changes things. The Sierra part on this one is an 18-7879-1. If you're looking back at the motor, it's on the bottom right-hand side way in the back. And also, I'm going to use this Amazon pump I got. Well, it used to be $18. Now it's more. I'm going to put it over the dipstick and pump it into a gallon jug, which I have someplace around here. Also, 2 garbage bags. When you take off that filter, it's going to drip oil. I am going to use this to try to catch all the oil, and a filter strap because it's way back there. I had to take my back bench out. I have a video on the back bench and how to take that out. I will put a link at the end of this video for that. So what I'm going to do first is run the motor until the engine gets hot. It'll stir up all the sediment in the motor, get it cool, or get the engine oil warm. That way it flows out really nice. So here we go. Let's get at it. So what I'm doing here is I'm putting the muffs on over the suction inlets on the lower end. Make sure you run the water pressure full. Never run your motor without water. Put your trim all the way down, start your motor, and let it warm up. Okay, now that I have my water on full blast and I have the trim down, make sure it's not hitting the ground, I am going to start the motor and let it run until it warms up. You want to make sure your lower end is low because you can ruin your U-joints. It won't really do much. I mean, it can, but if you're running it fast, it will do more damage and quickly. So I'm just going to let it run. So as I start the motor, you're going to want to make sure you have a good seal around your inlet parts for the water, and make sure your lower end is dumping water out really nice. It might take a second to fill your block up, but make sure you have good flow. If you don't have good flow, you probably need to do an impeller. She's running really nice. I take care of this boat, so it always runs great. Make sure you get your temp gauge up. Okay, now that I let it run for about 10 minutes, I'm going to check my hours. 171.4. I like to document my hours, so 171.4. What you can do is put a garbage bag maybe below here. That way it catches all the oil. Hold a dipstick. I'm going to put this pump right over this oil dipstick. Just like so. Then, I'm just going to start pumping. I'm going to take the oil cap off too for pressure. There we go, filling up. So what I did is I just put the oil pump right over the dipstick hole, took the oil cap off to relieve the pressure inside, and just start pumping. You're going to get about 4 quarts out of this 4.3. I won't show the whole pumping process, but I will show most of it. After this, I'm going to do the oil filter. Okay. Okay, now that I pumped about 4 quarts of oil out of there, which is good, I'm going to go back to the back side here, and the oil filter is right here. So mine's really hard to get to. If you're lucky, you don't have to take your back bench out. And I have these wood side things I also take out here. So let's get the oil filter down. Let's see what we can do here. I take my garbage bag, get it down there somehow, because you are going to drip oil. So what you want to do is make sure you put oil on your oil seal there. Make sure you do that. 100% have to do it. Try to catch all that. This is where the paper towels come in handy. So it's still dripping. I'm gonna let it drip a little bit. And I'm gonna put this on. Again, that's 18787 9-1 for the Sierra. I'm gonna get some fresh hands and tighten it a little more. So one thing about that oil filter is you are not over tightening the oil filter. You want to get it good hand tight. But since I couldn't get a good grip on it because my hands are oily, I used the wrench, but I've done about 2,000 oil changes and I'm not over tightening it. But you want to make sure that you get the rubber seal off the old filter and lube up the new filter, and then you can start adding your oil once that's good. I meant make sure you get the oil seal off the motor from the old filter. So once your oil is all in, again, this one takes 4 quarts, 4.3. You're gonna wanna run your engine again and check your oil. Now, I am not gonna do that. I know I sucked out 4 quarts. The oil filter is tightened. Make sure you have a good seal on your oil filter when you're running it. I'm just gonna let it go and I'm gonna run the boat on the lake and check it then. But I guess for everyone else, I would recommend just doing it right away. That's how you do an oil change. Thank you everyone for checking out my video. If you liked the video, please hit like or subscribe. I have other videos similar to this, helpful maintenance videos. Boating can be very fun and very inexpensive if you take care of it. Have a good day. Bye.